Okay, so good morning. My name is Sergio. I was using Ubuntu before. Now I'm using openSUSE for some reasons that we'll explain later. And I am working as a QA engineer by SUSE. And I would like to give you an overview first. But I need to be sure that you first know how to pronounce this word, because there is a lot of confusion. It is SUSE. I would like that you repeat with me, so to be sure that you can pronounce this. SUSE. Okay, please, a round of coffee for everyone. They are still sleeping. So let's try again. 1, 2, 3. SUSE. Okay, anyway, you should pronounce this. Then openSUSE is not SUSE. I say that it is her sister. A lot of people still confuse between both. Often they ask in the forum and channels as SUSE when they are actually using openSUSE. And now then I want to say that SUSE is a company that offers open source software solutions like cloud computing, like software-defined storage. And one of the components of these solutions is the operating system SUSE Linux Enterprise, also known with the letter SLE. Now, SUSE offers paid support for that, for their solutions, and openSUSE is the community that takes care of taking this open source code from SLE and from this base and create or publish their own operating system and distributions. One of them is lib, which is based on SLE. So normally you have always a version of SLE which matches the same version of lib. For example, today SLE lib 15 will be released because it is based on the next version from SLE, which will be also 15. And Tumbleweed is something special. I will explain later why. But it's also the another distribution or operating system that the openSUSE community is offering. openSUSE doesn't have paid support, but you can ask for help to the community through the forum and also through IRC, the vintage communication system. Yes, very romantic. And on the Freenode server, and the channel is SUSE normally. And if not, they will tell you to change to another channel, but usually SUSE, even if the name is from the company, it is used to provide support, not support, but help to openSUSE users. Now, SLE has a development branch which is called Factory. From Factory, all the versions of SLE, lib, and Tumbleweed are created. So I have put a graphic here where you can see the current version of SLE is 12SP3, and the current version of lib until today was 42.3. Then the next version will be 15, and we will have for the first time the same version number for both versions. And then the Factory branch is always in development. It has always the newer version of packages. And for this reason, it is not the best distribution or the best source code for providing for paid customer, because usually a company doesn't want to have the latest kernel or the latest systemd or the latest graphics. They want to have a server that works 24 hours even, or something like that. So they prefer something more stable and conservative. But the users, so the people that are not doesn't have a company that depends on IT infrastructure, can take the benefit of this latest source code. For this reason, each week, several snapshots are created from this Factory and are tested. And when this test passed, then they create something called openSUSE Tumbleweed. So Tumbleweed is always the latest stable and tested snapshot from the development branch of SLE. And this also happens that in Tumbleweed, you don't update your system. Normally, on SLE and lib, you make an update and you update your packages. On Tumbleweed, what you do is always an upgrade to the next snapshot, because there is no upgrade on the no update on the packages. You always upgrade to the next version of the packages. The reason why a stable and tested rolling release as Tumbleweed is possible is because we have automatic acceptance test using a tool called openQA, where we intensively test each snapshot, and then we can be sure that we have a good overview if this snapshot is stable and secure enough to be used. So we have release managers who take a look of these results on the link on the left side, and they decide, okay, this is okay, then we can release because it is stable and tested enough. And usually, a lot of the red ones are not errors on the system itself. It's because the test was not adapted yet to the new changes. And then they can decide, okay, this is not really a fail of the product, this is a fail of the test. And since this tool, openQA, is also open source, you can see on the right side, and the source code is in GitHub, so you can take a look at it. You can also contribute and use for yourself. And also, one thing is openQA, the tool itself, and other thing is the tests that are executed against Tumbleweed, SLE, and lib. It is the same source code, and you can also find it on another project on GitHub. And the needers, which are the screenshots that we use to compare between different windows, are also in a different repository because it will be too big to have the images in the same repository. And on the right side, you can see the needers, so the screenshots for openSUSE lib and Tumbleweed. And so you can also contribute to improve the test coverage. So in case that you see that on openQA, you are not seeing cover your use case where you use openSUSE, then you can improve the test to make them cover your use case. So you can be sure that the next time you upgrade Tumbleweed, you are sure that your use case is covered and you know that it works for you. Now, why should I use openSUSE? One idealistic thing is that even if openSUSE is a community which has a board, they don't decide the future of the distribution by itself. So they don't say, we want to use this behavior, we want to use this thing. I like a terminology that Richard Brown used. This is a duocracy, because those who do decide. So they let the contributors lead how openSUSE, Tumbleweed, and lib are going forward. Yeah, also something good for me, some good experience, since I came from Ubuntu and Debian world. For me, it was very exciting that I get very early feedback of my changes on my submit request, and I also get these changes on Tumbleweed within a week. So if my changes are accepted, they get into Tumbleweed within a week. So it is very it makes you very happy of that. Now there is also a tool called Open Build Service. In this case, I'm showing an instance that is used for openSUSE, Tumbleweed, and lib. And this Open Build Service, this tool is used to build from the source code SLE, lib, and Tumbleweed. Now this instance is only for Tumbleweed and lib. It is public, so you can visit online and you can see in real time how the packages are built for Tumbleweed and lib. And you can also see the spec files that are used to generate the packages for the distribution. Now, the best part of this instance is that openSUSE community offers you the possibility to create a free account and use this instance to build your packages. So I like to say that GitHub is the leader platform to host source code of free software application or free software. And build.opensuse.org is the leader platform to build your open source software. Now, there is also something interesting in this thing. It is Yast. Yast is a tool that is used for installing the operating system and also for configuring the system once it is installed. Now, for users, it is like a configuration center where you have a lot of modules to configure different applications or programs. But for developers, it can also act as a framework to have unified your configurations, because you can use its graphical interface, you can use its communication system to write and read from configuration files. And something special from Yast is that it has a dual user interface. You can run it on your desktop environment using GTK or Qt. In the left side, you can see the module sudo with graphical interface, and on the right side, in case you are using a console, a terminal, and you don't have any graphical interface, you are accessing, for example, with SSH to this remote server, you can also configure it using Yast with encurses, which helps you a lot, so you don't have to type in a text file the configuration. Also, how to contribute to openSUSE. Okay, here I have drawings. So on the right side, you can see what the openSUSE is taking care of. I also put one arrow after the request submit as green intentionally because this part is done by openSUSE. And the contributor, what usually does, is looking for a package in which he wants to contribute on. But the thing is that factory, which is the development branch, should not be changed by contributors directly. Because factory is the one that is used to build tumbleweed snapshots, and it has to be properly controlled by openSUSE, the testing and the decision to publish this snapshot. Now they have something called devel projects, so development projects, which contains all the packages that tumbleweed has. So it is like a pre-state of the packages. So you usually look for the package you want to contribute to in these devel projects. And then you usually make a copy of this project to your home project in build.opensuse.org. So this is called branch. So you make a branch to your account. And this is then in your OBS home. After that, you want to change the code by itself. You need a local copy on your machine so you can write changes. And this is made by doing a checkout. You usually use a command name OSC for openSUSE command line, or I don't remember exactly what the letters means, but you use this command to copy and check out a local copy of this project. Then you make your changes. When you are finished, you make a check-in, which means you upload the changes to your home project. And after that, you can see also in OBS how it is built against different architectures, because of course you can build it yourself on your architecture, but it's only one. So tumbleweed is also perhaps useful for ARM, it's also useful for PowerPC and so on. And you want to have it tested also on other architectures. So when you upload this to your home project, you can enable those repositories for ARM, for PowerPC, for even S390, and you can test your changes against those architectures. So not the package by itself, you can test how it is built. After that, if you are happy with your changes on your home project, you want to submit a request, which is asking openSUSE to accept your changes on the devel project. After that, they usually, the release managers, pick a selection of changes on the devel projects, and they make something called a staging project. This staging project is tested in openQA, and you can see also the test running in real time on the public instance openqa.opensuse.org. And if this test passes, then they take the decision to include it into factory. And after that, we make an integration test between all these devel project changes together. And then is where we have the normal tumbleweed test that we saw before in my screenshot. And then we have a tumbleweed snapshot. It is published, and then you can make a tumbleweed zipper dupt. Okay, if you want to know more, I have also put here, because my presentation was aimed to people who are beginners or newcomers, so they don't actually know very well how is openSUSE, how is about development. So I have picked here from this conference the talks that I think that are good for beginners, so that are easy, that are easy to understand, or even that extends what I said during my presentation. I hope they are updated, because I think they changed the schedule. I looked at it last night, so I hope they are well enough, and you can write it down. And since I have still 5 minutes, I will first ask if you have any questions. And if not, then I would like to give you a live demo of those things. So for example, here I have my the build openSUSE.org, this instance of the Open Build service that is used to build the packages for openSUSE Tumbleweed and for lib, and I am logged in. So at this moment, I have opened the devel project for the command tree, so for the package tree. If you know tree, when you have here, for example, can you see the screen? Yeah, it is big enough? I think no. Enough? So when you write tree, you can see a tree of your directories. It is a very simple command. And then let's say that I want to contribute to this package because I found a bug, because I want to improve the behavior. Then the first thing I will do is here. Here I have an option on the website, on the interface, to branch the package. When I click here, I accept, okay. We don't need to explain this professional or advanced behavior. And now we can see that I have a copy on my home project. It is big enough? Yeah. I have a copy on my home project about this package where I can make the changes. Of course, I will do a OLC checkout to have these changes locally. But even from here, I cannot change the source code. I can upload a new tarball. But here you can see I can open the spec file, and I can also change it from here. So in case, for example, that I have seen that it has a missing dependency, then I could write here requires something, and then save, and then it will save to my home project. And once I have saved it, I have here an option, submit package, which will create this request for openSUSE community to accept my changes. So that will be for OBS. Then in openQA, in case you don't know this tool yet, this is, I will start from here. So this is the landing page of openQA, of openqa.opensuse.org. And here, for example, you can see different groups, one for Tumbleweed, one for Tumbleweed on ARM, one for Tumbleweed for testing the kernel, and so on. You also can find lib, you also can find openQA by itself, testing itself. You can also see a test of Open Build service. Well, let's think that I want to see this build. So I open it, and then I see a list of test suites or case tests that are executed against Tumbleweed, this snapshot that was published from the build service. Now let's think that I want to work on or take a look at this test, extra test on GNOME. Extra text on GNOME. So I will click here, and it will open the page. So you can see here inside of a test suite different modules that are executed against this operating system, and you can see even screenshots of what was happening during the test. Also, when you are executing a test, you can also see in real time what is happening. So this is shown as a video in real time of what is happening. So one of the features of this tool is comparing between screenshots. So you take a screenshot of what you would like to, and then you say, I want to compare this region, this square of the screen, to check if what is happening on the test is what I expect it to be. Of course, this is a little bit work, because if a font change, for example, you have to make a new needle, but okay, this is a very good way to have an overview. But also you can test output of commands, you can test also the terminal, you can execute commands and make regular expressions to test the output of those commands. It is also possible. And even after that, you have here logs and assets. So in this case, this test failed. And then we can here take a look of all those logs, and then we can figure out what happened for it to fail. And even we have a video of what happened during this test. So this is what you will see also on lifetime, on live when the test is executed. Let's go to graphical interface. Of course, it types faster than a human, but even though this video is time lapse, so it is even faster than what the openQA by itself is doing. And now I have network problems, but I hope I can show you what this, because I still need to explain you or show you about Yast, a very cool feature. Okay, I hope it works. On the left side, you can see a virtual machine, and you can imagine this virtual machine as a remote server on the server room where you don't have access to, and it doesn't have yet any operating system. I want to install openSUSE 42.3, and this is already booted the medium. And here, when I'm going on the installation, I don't know if you can read correctly. It doesn't zoom. Well, in the boot options, I can send parameters to the Linux RC, and those parameters are also sent to the Yast, because openSUSE is installed also using Yast. And I can write here SSH equals 1, and that will tell Yast to start a remote installation with SSH. So it will start a SSH daemon. It will prepare all the installation things, and then from other machine, I can connect to it remotely and perform an installation without being physically on this server. It is loading. Okay, I need to type the password. Okay, no, my network doesn't work, so the remote installation was aborted and the normal installation appeared. So then I'm sorry that I cannot show you that, but perhaps you can find more information, or perhaps I can show you also later if you're really interested on that. So what I wanted to show you is that here on this right side, I have another virtual machine with openSUSE Tumbleweed, and when I do SSH with X forwarding, I will make so I will have the same graphic installation as here, but on my client, so I can make the same installation. But also, since Yast has a dual user interface, from Mac OS I could also connect to SSH. I don't have X, so I cannot X forwarding, but it has encurses. So that means that I can make a remote installation from a different operating system, which it doesn't have an X, and even perform a not graphical, but easier installation using Yast. And then that's all I wanted to say you. Thank you.